Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Ain't That Something? And y'all, listen, 2026 is knocking at the door, okay? And with that being said, I want to encourage those out there that are embarking on new chapters in their lives, new relationships, new relationships with themselves, right? Everything that we've been talking about in regards to improving and healing, like welcome it because 2026 is a new opportunity. It's a new clean slate. You can start fresh, right? All your mistakes, all the things that you've learned from 2025, let's take those lessons and learn from them for real. Let's not repeat the same thing over and over again. And let's be a model and an example to those that are still trying to get there, trying to get where we are. Okay. And today's episode, as we move on in to 2026, is going to be geared around encouraging people who are in, a state of positive, healthy, loving relationship. Like, let's say maybe your fall, your cuffing season, you actually did get cuffed, but by the right person. Okay. And things are going good. Y'all are moving forward. It's growing. There's intentions. And it's the best thing that's happening in your life. I want you to be encouraged and I want you to be prepared because when this happens to us, as women specifically, from time to time, your biggest allies, your biggest cheerleaders, your biggest supporters that was there with you rocking when you were single, when you was meeting the riffraff and dealing with the the raggedy anns with the fringe. Um, Sometimes, not all the time. Let me emphasize that. But sometimes those same friends, those same family members, those same people that were riding by your side and were encouraging you and lifting you up and telling you what you deserve and you don't need to be with this type of guy and he don't treat you the way you need to be treated, you need to drop him. All of that, they will be the same ones who are waiting for your healthy relationship to turn toxic. And believe it or not, their influence, if you allow them to influence you, their influence can put you in a state where you're second guessing something that is good, something that is wonderful, and you can lead to sabotaging a beautiful thing because you're listening to your friend. Listen, Genuine told us a long time, it ain't none of your friends' business. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about why is it that when a female who has been single, who has been dogged out, who has, been through the ringer, and now they find somebody, they're with someone, that person found them, they found each other, and they love each other, and they're just enjoying every stage that comes with them getting to get closer to each other and grow their unity. Why is it that there's always some friend or more who are trying to tell you what that relationship should look like? Or they're trying to tell you that you should do this or do that, or this should be happening within this time frame. And if it ain't happening, then you need to drop them. Why am I doing that? Especially, why am I going to listen to them, especially when they don't have a man? That's the kicker. Okay. That's the kicker about it is that they have so much to say. They have so much to, you know, put in about your relationship and how your relationship should be going, how this man should be treating you, disregarding everything that has been going smooth, everything that has been wonderfully in line with what you need, what your needs are. Okay. And I'm going to put it to you like this: there's three ways to preserve and protect your relationship. Number one, don't tell your business. Don't tell all your business. I feel like as women, we talk and we discuss things and we relate to each other and we share our stories and we share our experiences because we are wanting to uplift and help our fellow sisters, if you will. Um and so it's kind of in our culture and our norm that yeah, you'll talk about like the challenges that you may be having within your relationship or the challenges you may be having with yourself or whatever it is. And it's all a, you know, coming from a source because you're really trying to get support, you're trying to get ideas, you're trying to get input and feedback on how you can, work towards being a better version of yourself. And I think that's what the beauty is about us women is that we are able to do that amongst ourselves and it still be a loving, type of relationship and a bond. But we have to be so careful still as to how much information you are going to share. You don't need to be talking about every in and out thing that's going on between you and your partner in your relationship to your friends. This is, problematic because your friends, the more they hear negative things or more they hear that you're having a challenge in this area or you don't like when your man doesn't do this, they're sometimes they're tolling it up. They're making a list of all the things that you're sharing with them so that they can remind you at the perfect time that no, this ain't the one for you because he not doing this and not doing that. No, don't get me wrong, because we just on step one about telling business. I'm not talking about, and I'm going to be very clear about this. I'm not talking about if you're in a relationship and it's toxic and it's abusive and you're not telling anybody that you're going through something on that level. We're not talking about that. We're talking about you and your husband, you and your boyfriend, y'all had a disagreement and you're going back and forth, giving the whole full script dialogue, what he said, what he did, what you did. Not everything needs to be discussed. And I think if we really, as women, realize that and learn how to filter, you can share some things, but you don't need to share everything. Once you get a grip on that and you learn how to train yourself on what you're going to share and not oversharing, then you don't have to worry about someone trying to use that or cast doubt about your relationship. And I think also, number two, we have to be very careful about how much we are sharing that our relationship is so great and so wonderful. Because to me, that's when it's really putting up alarms and setting off triggers to your friends because they envious at the end of the day. They love you. They may not be they may not be hating just like full on. But the more you talk about, oh, he did this for me. Oh, we went here. Oh, we did this. The more they see that you're happy and you're not hanging out with them no more and you talking more about this guy, then that's when the hate starts to settle in. And I'm not making this up. People like to People like to I'm gonna say it like this. They like to just, relax around you when you're going through the worst, because now they're not left alone. They're not the only one that's single. They're not the only one trying to find their way. Because if they hear that you done met somebody and you're doing XYZ and y'all going on trips and he's surprising you with gifts and things like that, they're gonna find something negative to say to try and dim your light and have you cast doubt on your relationship. So you have to be careful of that. And the third and most important thing is that you have to put a sense of protection over you and your relationship. You have to, for real, be guarded up and prayed up so that someone is not going to try and infiltrate and cause destruction of your relationship. And how does that look? You know, when someone is bringing up something that's irrelevant and it doesn't bother you about your relationship, but it bothers them because it's not quote unquote what they think or what they deem as the steps and the the way the relationship should go according to them. You know, there's a lot of dating coaches, there's a lot of um dating gurus and things out there that we can listen to and we can get advice from. But what we don't realize at times is that they are just giving generalized advice. None of this is like on true data information. It's not true statistics. It's just a general conversation. And a lot of times it does seem to be relevant and relatable because when we're in the dating pool, when we're out here trying to date, it's a whole bunch of riffraff. And yeah, you listen to, for example, Anwar White. He's everybody's fairy godbrother. Okay. So he's got some input and he shares, his insight on what his opinions are about men in certain things to give women a bit of, I guess, like a cheat book of, hey, if this guy has these characteristics, if this guy acts this way, if this person dresses this way, or he's tatted up this way, he may fall into the lines of having this type of personality. And he's been successful at that. He's been doing his dating coaching and all of that for years. So he has a running record of like, hey, I can say this person is pretty reputable. But all of it is still just his opinion. Okay? It's just per chance. I can't depend solely on an opinion of one source or heck even many. Because in reality, what I'm dealing with the person that I'm in a relationship with is going to be unique. It's not going to be this, one size fits all situation that I can say, oh, yeah, I dated a guy and he was like that, or this meant this or that. And now I'm in a situation, so I'm going to back out. Now, don't hear me out. Don't get it twisted. We should definitely be diligent. We should definitely be um, you know, knowledgeable of the different types of riffraff that's out there. Okay, let's not be oblivious and just think that we are in this utopian world where everything is perfect and all these men are fine. No, we know that there is some garbage in the trash can. We know that. But what I am talking about is you are in a relationship. You have met someone. You guys have progressed into being in a healthy and supporting, loving relationship. And you start to listen to all of the things that start to cause you doubt, right? Not all men are the same. And you can't look at some blueprint that's saying that, hey, if a man starts dating you, he's taking you serious after 3 months. And by 6 months, he knows that he's going to marry you. So by 8 to 9 months, he's going to be prepared to propose to you. And then by 12 months, you're going to get either engaged or you're going to be married. Like, please, y'all, it's giving fairy tale, it's giving make believe. Because in reality, okay, if that does in fact happen, and it does, I'm not questioning that. It does. Sometimes somebody or a couple will get together and it just happens like that. But that's not every man. And if you are with a man and things are not going quote unquote by this timeline, the timeline should not be based on this kind of generalized rule. The timeline, honestly, should come from you. What is your timeline? What is your expectations out of the relationship? What are you setting from the very start of getting to know this person so that you're not wasting your time? And honestly, if you look at it from that standpoint, then that little quote unquote blueprint of this is the timeline that it should be, that should just be kind of a reference in a way. It shouldn't be something that you are just like straight up trying to live your day to day life by. Because guess what? You're going to probably miss out on your blessing because you're like, oh, it's 3 months and we going on 4. He ain't saying nothing. He don't seem like he's serious. Girl, relax. You don't know nobody in 3 months. You don't know nobody in 4 months. Get to know the person. Because still in that 3 to 4 months, it's the representative. And everybody that's listened to this channel should know what a representative is. That's when when you go on an interview and you're trying to get the job and you're telling them everything that they want to hear. Oh, yes, I'm open availability. Oh, I can work nights and yeah, and mornings. Sure. I'm all the way open. Yeah, that's the representative. Okay. You lied on your resume, and these guys lie in your face and tell you that, like, yeah, I'm everything that you want me to be. Get to know, don't rush. Don't be in a rush to try to make a milestone marker of, okay, by 3 months, we should be in a relationship. He should be asking me what we. No, by 3 months, I should meet his parents. By 3 months, I should meet his friends. He should have introduced me to somebody. That's not always the case. And I'm going to tell you about that because you can be introduced to a brother and his friends, his family, his favorite cousin, his coworkers, all of the things. And guess what? He could be straight up married to somebody or he could have a baby on the way. So, what difference does it make if he doesn't introduce you to somebody? Like, let's be real. If you have something that is good, that is positive, that is healthy, and I keep saying those three things: positive, good, healthy, because those are the ingredients that you need to start a foundation. You have solid communication with each other. You see this person's temperament in real life. Y'all actually hang out and doing things. You see how he responds to stress. Okay. You get where I'm going? You need to be able to see all of those things and give yourself realistic time, realistic timelines for you. That's best for you, not for your friends, not for your mama, not for your coworkers, not for your cousins. Like, it's about you and what makes you happy and what makes the relationship continue to grow. The relationships that I have seen that have been successful and continue to be positive and loving and supportive of one another are the relationships that you don't know that much about. You don't know all their business. You don't know that, that husband, that boyfriend pissed her off that morning because he burnt the toast or he ate all the grapes or he left a drop of orange juice. You don't know all of those things because that's not your business. It's not your business to know. It's not your business or anyone else's business to know what are the intricate and intimate details of your relationship. Because once you expose that, I'm a take y'all there. Once you expose all of that to your friend, to your sisters, to your family, to whoever, believe it or not, you're disrespecting the relationship. And what I mean by disrespecting a relationship is that you are exposing what may be challenges that are challenges between you and that person that y'all can work out, right? And the only people that should know about that is like your counselor or someone who is non biased. But once you start saying those things and, expressing how frustrated you are with your mate and what he did that got on your nerves, and it's like personal, guess what your friends are doing? They're like, not all of them, but the ones that's still single, your single friends, they're like, this is it. They're about to break up. And that's all they are waiting for is for an opportunity for you to show them that this relationship is not all that what it seems. And listen, it happens like that sometimes. Sometimes you can get caught up being emotionally attached and like, I mean, nose wide open, heart on your sleeve, all of the things. And you get involved with somebody and you realize, oh my goodness, this is a disaster. Mayday, mayday. I'm abandoning ship. Goodbye. That happens. Okay. Because again, not everybody is perfect. And again, if we if we skip past and don't give each other enough time to get to know anyone, and you're just all caught up in the representative of who they are, when that 3 months pass and we're in the next 3 months of this particular situation and you start to see the things that you don't really like about this person, now you're like, dang, I'm locked in because I was going by this little timeline. Like, oh, we needed to be in a relationship by 3 months. By 6 months, we needed to be going to look at engagement rings. That's a fairy tale. And at the end of the day, if you're wanting a positive, loving, supportive, healthy relationship, it is beyond important that you get to know that person. I highly recommend not really saying much, right? Not really saying much about who you're dating right off the bat. Kind of get to know the person first because listen, you might think they're a good catch and you realize like, I'm not even gonna waste my time. So I don't think that it's necessary to indulge in all of the things. Just do a test run. Just do a test trial run. And, if it works out, great. And if it continues to work out, just notice let me back up. Notice the difference if you get a chance to. If you meet somebody, notice the difference and use this as your test to see which friends in your circle are how they're going to be. You let them know, yeah, I met somebody, it's been cool. I'm just kind of getting to know them or whatever. Pay attention to the friends that's like, well, tell me the details. What happened? What y'all doing? Da 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 da. Blah 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 blah. When you are discreet about the person that you've been dating and how things are going, your friends that are like, okay, it's going good. She ain't said nothing. She ain't dropped them like a hot plate. All right, it must be still working. They're gonna be supportive of it. But that friend that's like, you still talking to him? Well, what's going on? You don't talk about him. You don't say anything about it. Maybe because when I tell you something positive or something that's going great in my life, you have something negative to say. So, no, I'm not going to indulge all of that until the time is right. So give yourself time and don't allow anyone to try and manipulate you into thinking that what you have is bad. Now, if it is bad, if this man is cheating on you, if you've caught him lying, if he, pops up with a baby mama, if he's cheating, did I say cheating already? If he's, stealing, okay, girl, let it go. That's what we don't want. We don't want to be attracted to the toxic. Those are all toxic things. Like, case in point, there's a few celebrities out here. And I reference the celebrities because that's what is kind of at our fingertips right now. We're seeing how, these influential um leaders in the entertainment world are living their lives and being in relationships and so forth. And so it's easy to normalize toxicity. It's very, very easy in our society right now to look at it and see somebody going through something or see someone voluntarily get involved in a situation that has all of the hazard, red flags, toxic. This is a toxic dump site with fish that got three eyes in it. And it's still normalized to be like, but I like a little toxic. Um, I mean, but yeah, his D is good. No. We as a society need to break that. We need to start recognizing that that is not the way we need to live our lives. We need to stop thinking it's okay. And once we start doing it, then we can have a whole different type of turn in our community and how we treat each other and how we build families. There's so many broken families. Oh my God, it's sad because nobody is learning from it. I think back in the day, we didn't know reality of celebrities. We didn't know what their life was like or what they was going through and all of the things, you know? And in a way, I miss that because it allowed people to just be people. It didn't put them up on these, grand arenas and platforms to be spotlighted on their chaos and their family dysfunction. But literally, all these men that's out here that's having these babies within months of each other, and the women are just like eagerly signing up, volunteering, being like, okay, well, I guess, it ain't nothing else out there. I'm gonna go ahead. Like, no, we we need to put back a sense of pride in our families, in our Black families. Like, we don't have good representation of that. And when we have a good representation of it, trust me, what I'm talking about, it still applies. Oh, he is simp. Oh, she a pick me. Um, he is square. What? To be with a man who wants to be with one woman and have one family and have a it's so funny to me when these guys will try to, work their game and say, "Well, I don't subscribe to that. I don't believe in, being with one woman." And these women are literally listening to this and being like, "Well, okay, I'll take a number. I'll be baby mama number 9." Where is your self-worth? Where is your confidence that you can get a man who's going to treat you right, who's going to love you and not embarrass you and not make you feel emotionally rejected? Because you can't sit up here and tell me that you with a man and that man have to, split your time up with another woman that's got his baby, and he over there playing daddy with that baby. Please. And it's so funny because even the people from back, well, that was going on back in the day, and that's what they did. Great. It was. But we should learn from that and not repeat it, because all it does is mess up the kids. And guess what? It also does. It causes that same um cycle with the children where they're like, my daddy did it, my mama did it. Oh well. And I'm going to tell you what it really boils down to when we have these kind of relationships and these kind of dynamics going on, and where it's a lot of dysfunction. The dysfunction comes from the two individuals wanting what they want in a selfish manner. That man, he wants to be able to be with however many women he wants to be with. That woman that, or of the women that he's with, they are competing for his time and space and energy and acceptance. So they come up with, okay, I'll have a baby by him. And that way I'm always set. I'm good. And that's literally sometimes what the situation is, you know, especially if you're doing it multiple times. You done already had one, he done had another baby by somebody else, and then you backdoor and have another baby. What are you doing? Y'all just collecting babies like what? Let's bring back family. Let's bring back normalcy of wanting to be in a functional, positive, loving, supportive relationship. Like, can we bring that back? Can we strive for that? Can that be back a goal for our Black community? Because at the end of the day, you're going to always have a polarized spectrum. You're going to always have people that's out here just having baby daddies and baby mamas. But can we focus on trying to move away from that, where that way of life is minimized, it's declining. We could look back and be like, yeah, from 2000 to 2025, it was crazy. Babies was just being born just to be born, just to see if they can do it. And now from 2026 on up, there is an increase in marriages. There's an increase in Black family and unity. Like, can we strive for that? Is there women out there that's listening to this podcast that are in the same space of me, that I want to be a wife? I want to have a family. I want to have a husband that I care for, that I can build a legacy with, that I can start something new? Is that seems to be the unicorn in the Black community, you know? And if you are that woman that says, "Hey, no, I don't want to be ratchet all the time. I don't want to, be loose and sleeping around with all these people," then it's as if you're the quote unquote pick me. Well, dang. I'm not being a pick me if I'm saying I have high standards and I want to be with one individual and I want to care for him and I want to have his babies and I want my children to know their father and their father is involved and loves them. Like, how is that a pick me? How is that a pick me? You know what I mean? Like, we really need to reprogram the way we think about this. And it ties all back together with when we got outsiders putting their input on how our relationship should be and what they should look like. If I'm already in something good, I don't need your input, sugar. I really don't need your input if you ain't got no man. If you can't tell me how to get a man and how to keep him, and you don't have evidence of getting a man and keeping that man, and not just any man. Okay, we're not talking about like, oh, I can get out here and I can give you a man. No, no, no. A good man that's going to love you and be positive and loving, and I said loving twice, that's important. And, supportive of you and healthy. healthy communication, healthy expression, right? There's a balance. That's what I mean when I say healthy. If you don't have that, you don't really have room to tell me anything. There's no room for you to tell me a thing. Now, if you are a single person who has been through some stuff and you have reflected on what you need to do in your life to make it right, and you're like, dang, I see the error of my ways. I see what I should have did. I'm taking accountability for the things that I did wrong. And hey, girl, listen, you got a good man on your side. Don't worry about the small things, right? Is he treating you well? Is he being supportive? Is he being loving? Is he healthy? That's all that is important. And that's all your friends need to worry about. But if they are omitting all of that and mad because he ain't got you a ring yet and it's just been 6 months, or they're mad that they haven't met him. And how can you be dating somebody he ain't met your friends, you ain't met their friends, you ain't met his family, he ain't met your you worrying about the wrong thing because clearly that relationship is already established and there's an understanding that you won't be able to understand. So when it comes to that, when you don't understand something about your friend's relationship, you need to take a step back. You need to say, you know what? Hey, if it's working, it ain't broken, don't fix it, right? Let them be. And just celebrate your friends that are in something that is beautiful. Because those gonna be the same friends that you up there boohoo crying when they're saying their wedding vows and having a good day, or those are gonna be the same friends that once they start having a family and making you gonna be wanting to be the godparent and all of that. Don't ruin your opportunity and your chances with that because you being a hater from the sidelines. If you're gonna be her cheerleader all the way through. If you're gonna be her protector or you want to be the person that's like, hey, I'm here for you if anything goes wrong, be that. But don't cross the bound. Don't cross the boundary of you got to put your input in, you got to put your 2 cents in. It's not about you. It's not about you anymore. What you need to be doing is asking that friend that's in a healthy, positive, loving relationship, girl, how you do that? You need to be asking her, what should I do? What do I need to do to get what you got? Instead of hating on it and trying to throw shade and make it seem like there's some underlying agenda with the man or he ain't that good. Don't That's not necessary to do. So, as we proceed to give you what you need in 2026. No Diddy. Keep in mind that your friends, your loved ones, they mean well. But oftentimes it is unfortunate. They can be the person who is waiting for you to get back on that same boat that they are on of being single and being miserable because they don't want to be left alone. They don't want to be the only one single. They don't want to be the only one that has dealt with somebody that was toxic, that was, abusive, that was cheating on them, that was stealing from them, that was disrespecting them. They don't want to be the only one. But guess what? The only way that you're not the only one is one, healing, two, working on yourself, taking accountability, right? You knew you wasn't supposed to be with that dude. You knew you weren't supposed to be with somebody who was cheating on you, who was mistreating you, who was lying to you. You knew this from the jump, but you decided to stay. So don't get mad at your friends because they're not experiencing that. And don't try to fluff it up like, oh, well, you're just blinded by love. You can't see that No, it's not being blinded by love when somebody is, when you have all them ingredients. I'm going to say it one more time. They positive, they healthy, it's loving, it's supporting. That's not the same thing. And Unfortunately, because people are so used to other people being miserable and they are miserable themselves, they can't help. They can't help themselves. They don't want to be by themselves miserable. Okay, we all know the saying, misery loves company. And I'm here to tell y'all, in 2026, I ain't got time to be miserable. Okay? I only want to strive for love, acceptance, positivity, healthiness. You can throw all that toxicity mess down the drain because it's only for Krishan and Blueface and all of that going on. Or Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. Like I I look at the stuff that's going on and I'm just like, man, all of this is preventable. It's all preventable. Like, you do not have to voluntarily get involved with somebody who got all that kind of crap going on. Like, honestly, think about it. You could be single and happy and positive by yourself. Why would you go and involve yourself in something that is going to cause grief just for the simple fact that you don't want to be single or you want to be in a relationship with somebody or you want to have a baby? Those reasons are so fickle because and it's also like it's one of those reasons where it's like be careful what you ask for. You just want to be in a relationship just to be in a relationship? You just want to have a baby just to have a baby? You just want to be accepted by somebody? Please. You got to start by accepting yourself. And until we really truly realize that as as a whole, but I feel like specifically as women, when we turn it around and we start setting the standard and we start shaming the fact that these men got all these babies and we're not accepting it, that's when there's going to be a change. Because at the end of the day, the men are the leaders, but the women are leaders too. And what we're doing is enabling this whole big mess that we have within our culture. Like, I'm not talking about anybody else, but I'm talking about our culture and what we are doing and what we are setting up and modeling for our children to see. It's just, uh, I tell you that's gonna have to be on another episode. But I feel like I've said everything I needed to say. You know, friends, stay out your friends' business with a man. Okay. If it's good for them and it's positive, it's loving, it's healthy, be happy. Stop being a hater. Stop over here making up stuff to make the relationship look like it's a problem. It ain't no problem. If they don't have a problem with it, you don't need to have a problem. Okay? Be supportive, be encouragement, be there for that friend if it doesn't work out. But at the end of the day, it's not your business. Whatever that friend is going through, she's going to have to go through, regardless if it's healthy or if it's toxic. It's none of your business. So keep that in mind. Let that be a little something you take into 2026. And we gonna enjoy the rest of this night. And I'm looking forward to the good things coming with Ain't That Something. So continue to follow, continue to subscribe, continue to listen, share, because that's how we are going to be able to, influence change and set a new sense of dynamic and identity for our people. Is that if we are wanting different, we have to do different, we have to do better, and it's not too late. You know what I'm saying? It's not too late to show the youth, the children, the young adults how it should be done. We are in that role now, we're in that space now, and where those avenues and those gaps weren't making it happen for us, we can make it happen for others. So, again, thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for listening. And until next time, ain't that something?